Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. And as you can see from the visual as well as the title of this video, I want to talk about some of Lexi's childhood experiences with her dad in regards to their relationship. And something very interesting happened one Christmas. Now, before we get into it all, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. So Lexi states in her video that, while she is in therapy, she continues to work through Chris Fletcher's inconsistent behavior in her life. And this is why she says that she never had a relationship with her biological dad, Chris Fletcher. Now, some people may watch her video and even watch this commentary video and say, what y'all talking about? They did have a relationship. She knows him. She can call him. She's visited his house. They do have a relationship. No, no, no. That is going through the motions of him picking her up sometimes, or her, going down there by plane or train or automobile to visit him. But heart to heart conversations, him trying to comb her hair, even to get her away from all of the siblings and Nell Fletcher, and all of that entails taking her to the park and them talking and him asking about how are things in school? You're not getting bullied, are you? Do you have a boyfriend? Have you ever been kissed? All of that. Those things that make up a relationship, she's saying that she did not have. And that is totally valid. And I want to just point out and say, if you're still not getting it for whatever reason, another example is there is going to church, you clapping your hands. Oh, this Sunday, the choir, they singing my favorite song, and you're jamming to the song because your choir sounds so good. And there is, putting on your favorite church hat, and the people behind you are blinded by it and they can't see anything. And you're wearing your Sunday's best. But relationship is when no one is around and you're in your closet, and now it is a prayer closet because you've shut the door, you've gotten down on your knees, you may even be crying to where nobody can make out what you're saying except God. That is relationship. You wanting to donate, not so that other people can see what you're giving, or the trustees in the office can see how many zeros is on that check, but you're giving because he's provided so much for you. And you want the money to go to those in need, or you want it to go towards the scholarship committee, or to pay the youth pastor because they're doing such a good job in encouraging the kids. So you give all that money from your heart because of your love for him. That is relationship. But just to be able to say that, you did pick her up, or you did give the mama some money, or you're just a check in the mail. One of my friends told me that, her dad was a check in the mail. That's not relationship. So I just want to point that out for anyone who may say, what's she talking about? They did have a relationship. I just want to point out what relationship is. That's just like if you got a man and y'all are, let's say y'all married, and he goes to work and comes home, but he don't have a thing to say to you. He doesn't want to show you affection, give you a hug, kiss you, baby, how was your day? I missed you. And y'all don't make love, y'all don't even fuck. Okay, neither one. That is not relationship. There is no connection there. So that is what Lexi is talking about. Now, as a result of a lack of a relationship, she does not have a lot of memories of Chris, except for one Christmas. At or around Christmas Day, Chris Fletcher and her uncle took Lexi to a lady's home. She said she didn't know who the lady was, but the lady had two daughters. So there were tons of gifts under the Christmas tree. Lexi was 7 years old at the time, but even at seven, she'd learn, the rumor that's on the streets that Santa Claus is not real. So she says she thought to herself, oh, this lady got her daughters all those gifts. But it turns out that the gifts were for Lexi. And Lexi opened up her gifts. She had Barbie dolls, including Barbie Dream House. She was so happy and pleased with her gifts. And that was also the last time that she would ever be with just her dad and minus Nell Fletcher and her other siblings. So I found this to be very symbolic. I don't think that it's just coincidental that that Christmas, where it was just her and Chris Fletcher, and he took her to someone's house and there were all her Christmas gifts there. I don't think that was just a coincidence. I think that somehow Nell found out about the gifts and the outing, and she put an end to that. So Lexi said thereafter, whenever she was with her dad, so was her stepmom and siblings. She said that even if it was just for Chris Fletcher to pick her up or drop her off, the whole family had to attend. She said as the years went on, it would taper off. Sometimes it would be Chris, her younger sister Kayla, and maybe Nell wasn't there. Or it might be Chris, her younger sister Kayla, and one of her brothers. But it was always more people there, just, it appears, in my opinion, so that Lexi would not have Chris all to herself. Now, I was intrigued. As I continued watching Lexi's videos, I was waiting for her to reveal who the lady was. Did it turn out it was an aunt that she had never met before? Or was it a cousin in Chris's family that Lexi had never met before? Was it a classmate? Was it a neighbor? And it sounds like there was no clarification given to Lexi who the woman was. So, I don't think that Chris Fletcher would be sloppy enough to take her to like a mistress's house and, hide all the gifts there for multiple reasons. Why would he want the kid to witness a mistress? And also, unless the mistress just totally does not have a brain inside of her head, she'd be connecting the dots if she didn't know he was married. Like, well, wait a minute. He has a kid, but he can't just take the gifts over to his house. There must be a wife there. So I was wondering who that mystery woman was. But in my opinion, however Nell learned about this event, it truly ticked her off for that to be the last time that Lexi ever had like one-on-one time with Chris Fletcher. Who do you think the woman was? And how did Nell find out about it? Did she open up the credit card bill? Did he pay for the Christmas gifts with the credit card? Or even if it was with the debit card, did she get the bank statement or notice the balance was a lot lower? How did this all come about? I've made a video previously where, in my opinion, it sounds like Chris and Nell Fletcher, I'm sure they have a joint checking account, but it seems like they keep a lot of their money separate just from the way that they talk, especially how they fund their children's lifestyles, in my opinion. So perhaps he was able to purchase all those toys for Lexi and Nell not find out, at least initially. She initially did not have a clue because I don't know if that would have happened, especially taking her to like another location. It just sounds so like Underground Railroad, and, the uncle was Harriet Tubman, and he's like, bringing Chris and Lexi to freedom at this house, and all the gifts are there. So I am so intrigued. So during part two, whenever her part two comes out, this commentary that I'm doing is based on part one of her video about her dad, Chris Fletcher. If she ever makes part two, I would love for her to give her thoughts on like that whole setup. Was it ultimately so Nell wouldn't trip about Lexi getting Christmas gifts? What was that about? And then I wonder sometimes, does Chris Fletcher ever feel guilty or remorse for not really putting his foot down when it comes to his lack of a relationship with Lexi. He has to have some sort of war within just because he bought all those gifts and took them to the woman's house and took Lexi there so that she could enjoy her Christmas gifts without all of the trepidation, you know? It just makes me wonder if he does grapple with things within himself. Like, I should have spent more time with her and I should have explained to my wife, she is my child. She is a part of this family, especially the way he has embraced Lance. Lance even said it on Love and Marriage Huntsville to Dr. Francis that he felt comfortable talking to Chris because he said Chris is not going to interrupt him and yell. He's going to listen, and even in hearing that, Chris caught a stray from Nell when she said, well, what does your dad say? He doesn't say much. He doesn't say much, but so he has to have those feelings or some sort of empathy at some level, even if it's a low level. Chris has to think to himself, you know, um, I should have done more, I should have done things differently. So that has to kind of eat at him sometimes, at least. But I thought that was so interesting. That marked the last time that she had that one on one time with him. Now, Lexi was a high achieving child. She not only earned good grades in school, but she was involved in extracurricular activities such as cheer, and she did cheer competitions. And that is no joke. If you have ever watched reality TV shows for cheer competitions, oh my gosh, they're even getting on the babies like the 2 year olds with peer pressure. You can catch them on lifetimetv.com, the Lifetime Network. Also, Netflix may still have a reality a TV show for a cheer competition. Very intense. If you think Dance Moms is crazy, cheer competition takes it to the next level. Lexi said that Chris Fletcher never attended her piano recitals. She played an instrument that's major, or cheerleading competitions. Lexi was even involved in Steve Harvey's Dreamers Academy. And she said, definitely, if you haven't heard about it, check it out. So I did Google it, and I am going to share my screen in a moment. She said that Dreamers Academy was amazing. She met Mary J. Blige and Lori Harvey. She said, Lori is so beautiful. And she said, Chris Fletcher, he did not experience any of that. He was not involved. And that is too bad. How exciting is that to be involved in the Dreamers Academy that is spearheaded? When I Googled it, it is like a joint collaboration between Disney, Steve Harvey, and Essence Magazine. That's major. And so I'm so happy for Lexi that she was able to be a part of that and to get those special experiences. So Chris Fletcher, unfortunately, has missed out on a lot from not being involved, in her life to the level that he could have experienced. And I think that she would have just loved more conversations uninterrupted where he could devote time to her. So that's pretty sad. Now, Lori said, I'm sorry, not Lori, Lexi. I'm looking at my notes where I typed Lori Harvey. So Lexi had her son when she was 20, and Chris Fletcher told her that he wanted a relationship with his grandson. That really touched Lexi. It meant a lot to her. In fact, she fantasized saying, she felt like in his pursuit of getting to know his grandson, that would also include her on some level. She would be present. So then perhaps he'll listen to her and want to get to know her. And she said, and then he'll think, oh, she's an awesome person. And it sounds like, that never happened, unfortunately. She even gave an example of Lance's oldest daughter, who shares the same birthday. I know that two people do share the same birthday. Lexi's son and her oldest niece, the older niece, which is Lance's oldest daughter. They're 4 years apart. So Lexi is 33, so her son is 13. So Lance's oldest daughter is 17. They're 4 years apart. They share the same birthday. So when Lexi gave birth, the niece, Lance's oldest daughter, was turning 4. And she had a birthday party on the day that Lexi was giving birth. And Chris Fletcher elected to attend the 4-year-old's birthday party, and he was not able to make the birth of his grandson, unfortunately. And Lexi, that hurt her feelings. It looked like yet another point of rejection, because I feel like ultimately that is what's happened to her. Lexi has experienced rejection over and over and over again from the same person, her dad. And this isn't really, I'm not going to say to his credit, because it's not to his credit. I believe that he's gone along with the wishes of his wife, just in my opinion. I know that I do not know them personally, based off of what I've seen on Love and Marriage Huntsville and from listening to Lexi give her life experiences. I am hoping that Chris Fletcher would have liked to pursue a deeper relationship with his daughter, but in order to experience some peace in his household, he has gone along with his wife's wishes. He is trying to carry out the saying, happy wife, happy life. But I think that there are some serious times where you have to put your foot down. And when I think of happy wife, happy life, I think of, okay, honey, can you shovel the snow right now? I need to go to the grocery store and to the gym. And he puts on his coat, his gloves, his boots, and he goes outside and he does it. Or if she's like, honey, something's wrong with the plumbing. I know you'll take a look at it, but I really just want to fix. Can you just call a plumber and handle it? And he picks up the phone and he calls the plumber and he handles it in a timely fashion. That's what I think of happy wife, happy life. I do not think of you ignoring your oldest daughter, one of your children whom you helped to conceive, to please the wife. That sounds like a serious, serious problem in the wife and stepdaughter's relationship that you are fostering, you are condoning, you are complicit with. And then, like, for now, how can you still be turned on by a man that could totally ignore one of his children? That would not be a turn on for me. That would be a turn off. And I just couldn't imagine doing that to another human being. I would not want that done to me. But I feel like in this world, not a lot of people live by the golden rule anyway. So that doesn't really surprise me, unfortunately. But Lexi, a bravo on this video and breaking it all down. I'm glad that you had at least that one fun Christmas, and I'm glad you got the Barbie dream house like you wanted. And I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video, as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Shows Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. I hope that you all had a wonderful Wednesday. I cannot complain. It started raining this afternoon and it's been raining all evening as well. As long as it doesn't turn into ice, I'm good. I checked the weather app and it's supposed to be like upper 30s. And then sometime next week, or even over the next few days, I think it is going to dip a little bit. But hopefully, if it's still not raining in a few days, we should be all good. But yeah, so March 1st is this Saturday. And then that next weekend, we change the clocks. And that's going to help with warmer temps too, because the sun will be out longer, an extra hour. So I hope you all are having a beautiful week, and I will talk with you soon. Bye.